team, what we try to do is incorporate these in our lives. When we wake up, we do them, and before we go to bed, we do them, so that the first thoughts of the day send us on this path of who we're becoming. And while we're about to go to bed, it kind of plants seeds for who we're becoming, and we go into that dream space with that. I'm going to do one of the formulas for you myself. It's one of my favorite. I'm lying. I'm going to do two for you. I'm going to do formula number 5 and number 6 because I think those are really juicy. Formula number 5 really hits home for me because all of the things that I'm about is identifying what parts of me are getting in the way and identifying who I need to step into as a being so that I can have all the things I say I want to have. And formula number 5 is this. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing a love for all humanity because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. That's formula number 5. And that really encompasses a lot of like who we get to become as an individual so that we can shave off all the caca that society kind of adds throughout life, right? I have a question for you before I do number 6 for you. Who in society do you know that encompasses number 5? Anybody comes to mind? Who has those virtues? Who has those characters? Anybody? Here's an open floor.
Well, from the history, I think I would say that Gandhi is one of the most amazing people that really enforced that into his life, and he brought the whole community together.
Beautiful. Absolutely, Willie. Gandhi is somebody like that. Martin Luther King is somebody that encompasses those traits. I want to say that Tony Robbins is somebody like that. I want to say the biggest givers in our world, the biggest people that contribute to our society are those people that eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism from their character so that they can serve humanity with their blessings and gifts. So let's go ahead and do number 6 for you, okay? Number 6. I will sign my name to this formula and commit it to memory and repeat it out loud twice daily with full faith that it will influence my thoughts and actions so that I may become a self-reliant and successful person. I love that one. You know why? Because it says, look, and that's part of what we're doing here in this course is we're becoming self-determining people. We are becoming resilient people that rely on ourselves for the success that we want to create in our own lives and the lives of others. And that's formula. So we heard Sarah do formula number 1, and you heard me do number 5 and number 6. I guess the rest of them are going to be bonuses for you as we grow together. Now, that being said, I think we should get started. So my name is Aladdin Kazarvan, and welcome to a free introduction call to what we do behind closed doors to grow ourselves and to help ourselves and the rest of the people in this community thrive. And that's a really big thing. I want to share a couple of things with you guys. One, I want to talk about who we are as a group, what we're about, what we're going to do, and what it's about. Like, what is it? What's the container around? First of all, our group name is the Mastermind Life. We are a mastermind alliance based around doing the book Think and Grow Rich. Our purpose is really simple. Our purpose is to implement the 13 principles of success that Napoleon Hill has uncovered from 500 of the most successful forefathers of industry. These are people like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, and many, many more. And they dissected all of the things they've done and they brought it basically to 13 principles of success. And we get to do that. Now, I personally have read this book so many times, okay? And throughout the years, and I'll share with you my story as we get to further along in the call, but it really never clicked until we did it with a group. We did the book instead of read the book. In fact, I believe either Ross Cornwell or Bob Proctor had a passage in the book, and I think I was on my 13th time either listening to it or reading the book, and there was a section in there. I was in the car with my beloved Amy, and we were talking, and this was after a really intense 3-month-long leadership training that we did, and I was on this high of really doing personal development, and we're in the car, we're listening, and Bob Proctor or Ross Cornwell, one of them said a passage, something along the lines of, this book is not meant to be read. This book is meant to be done like a textbook in a group setting. And boy, was he right. So my beloved and I were chit-chatting back and forth, and we're like, we would love to have like a team to do this book and uncover all the secrets so that we can put it. And let me tell you, the book comes to life when you do it in a group setting. There's a very different experience from reading it like a novel versus doing the book like you're doing it. Because Napoleon will have you print stuff out, say stuff out loud, put it by your nightstand, and et cetera, et cetera. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And that was about 2 years ago. 2 years ago was our first group. We started with, I don't remember exactly, but we ended up, I think we started with like 22 or 25 friends, right? 22 or 25 friends. And what a ride. 2 years has gone by so fast. But let me tell you what happened. Out of the 22 people, here's what happened. Amy and I were talking about it, and I was like, people always just kind of trickle off, as it gets serious, and you have to like recite stuff and look at yourself and take self-inventory and look at what your habits you need to change and what you need to add and all this kind of stuff. People get scared and they walk away. I hope you're not one of those people. I hope you're really serious about your success. But here's what happened. That 22, 23 people got narrowed down to 7. Boom, we got our team. I was really excited. And those 7, after we had done the book together a few times, and we started seeing success in our own lives and seeing changes in our own lives, we're like, we need to bring this to the public. There's not enough goodness in the world. We need to help our brothers and sisters like Joshua or Rebecca or Sarah. We need to help them see and experience what we experienced. And that was doing the book. And boom, 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 like my name was Aladdin and we had a genie, a course was born. A course was born. And it was really, really awesome. I'm really grateful. And we were left with 7 people. And those 7 people helped create this course or this mastermind alliance, and the experience you're going to experience if you decide to move forward. Hi, how are you, sweetheart? Oh, it's so sweet. And that's who created this course. Now, some of those people are on this call right now, and I'm going to introduce those people as we go along as the founders, the founding members, and we've cried together, we've laughed together, we've grown together, we've done all of it together, and we want to help you experience some of the breakthroughs that we've gone through for yourself in your own life. It's something you must experience. So who we are, we're a group of individuals, and our group sizes vary. Now, what happens is this is a live event, right? So in a live event, as you notice, people are trickling and we're having it on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Typically what happens is when our doors close, which is August 12th, okay, write that date down. That's our start date for our next course. That will be our eighth round or ninth round or something like that. We're going through our group. And when the doors close, we're not public anymore. So you're not going to see me on Facebook. You're not going to see Willie on Facebook talking about it and all that kind of good stuff. We close the doors because we want to create a safe container for you to feel safe to look at yourself, for you to feel safe to grow and bring up the stuff that you want. Everybody signs NDAs. We have people that want to lose weight in our group, like someone that wants to like lose 10 pounds. We got people that want to find love. We have people that want to save $10,000 or $20,000. And we have people that are chasing hundreds of millions of dollars, if not in the billions. And I don't want to single out anybody, but they're in here, okay? Now, here's what's great about that. Here's what's great about that. We get to learn from each other. We get to grow with each other in an environment where the people that show up to these meetings are providing wholehearted aid in creating harmony and a place for you and I to be able to grow. Magic happens. You know, Napoleon Hill shares, he says that when two or more minds come together, a third mind and there is created that allows each person in the group to access the level of genius, your ability to access hunches or insight or ideas that you've been waiting for, poof, allows it come. Now, the trick about that is it's not just a group of people coming together. Otherwise, everywhere in society right now, we'd have this. The trick is a place of harmony, a place where everyone's coming together in wholehearted aid, trying to aid each other. And that's what we've created. We've created a container for us to be able to do that for each other. Now, what it looks like, right? Like, what are we going to do? So it's real simple. It's real simple. Okay, you ready for this? You're going to read 2 chapters a week at home at your own time, okay? And then on Wednesday night, remember we start on time, we end on time, at 8 o'clock, we all get on a Zoom call together right here on Wednesday, and it ends at 9:15. And here's what happens. One of our founding members, it may be me, it may be Melissa, it may be Willie, it may be Janine, it may be somebody else, you don't know. But we all learn from each other. And what happens is we will go over the highlights that we feel that were really big key points in what we pulled out of the book. And then we open it up for the group. And the group co-creates the space that creates magic. And so our goal is a couple of goals. One of them is for us to aid you in breaking out of your shell. Part of that is your voice, right? Like, have you ever been in a meeting and you didn't say anything? Like, you wanted to say something, but you're like, I don't know if it's the right time. I don't know if it's good to say this, blah, blah, blah. So our goal is to get your vocal cords open so that you can start to learn how to express from a place of power, from a place of self-confidence, from a place that you're going to need to learn how to access when you meet the right investor, when you find the right opportunity, or when the right idea comes into your mind about writing the book, starting the course, whatever it is that comes to you. You're going to need that self-confidence. Part of that is being able to express. Part of that is being able to lean into what you want to create. So we went over who we are, and we're going to introduce everybody in a few minutes. We understand what we do. We're going to read 2 chapters. We're going to meet on Wednesday night for an hour and 15 minutes. We start on time, we end on time. And what to expect? Well, you can expect all kinds of stuff, because here's what happens. When we get in an environment where we're in a positive and encouraging environment, where we're able to really see ourselves and learn from each other. I'll give you a share with you. I had a student of ours that graduated, gave us testimonial, so I can share it because it's public. By the way, we don't share each other's experiences and all that kind of stuff when we sign NDAs, okay? We honor each other. But this was a testimony that we put on Facebook. And she said, and this was a successful woman, a successful career. She made in the 6 figures of her job. She was the boss. And when she left, she told us that once she identified her definite chief aim in her life, she realized that all of her goals were based around her job and where she was going. So in 5 years from now, if she hit her mark or if she hit her goal, it wasn't really about where she wanted to go in life. It was really about the goals that she had set around her work. Now, here's what I'll share with you. And she had really great goals, great goals. But here's what I'll share with you. She also shared that she had really, and this woman, by the way, teaches finance and financial abundance, just to give you an FYI, okay? And she mentioned that one of her biggest breakthroughs was that she had thought that her ceilings were here around how much money she wanted to earn, around how much money she wanted to save, around how much money she wanted to give, around what's possible. And in that mastermind setting, in that group setting, or on your buddy calls, which you'll be able to link with every single person here, she learned that her ceiling was someone else's floor. And now here's what happened. When you realize that your ceiling of what's possible is someone's floor, and that person's right next to you, maybe on one of these boxes, all of a sudden you start looking at your ceiling and you're like, well, maybe that should be a step, not the ceiling. And so she changed her goals. She changed her 5-year goals and where she's going and her definite chief aim. And now she's got much bigger goals. And I know she's on her way to getting it. And that is all a product of being able to learn from one another, learning from Willie, learning from Melissa and her experiences, and Janine and Joshua's experiences, and Pete's experiences. Now, all that being said, like, why should you be here? Why this group? There's 1,000 groups. Why all those questions, right? Like, is this the right group? Why now? All those. Well, I don't want to answer any of those questions. I want you to answer those questions because maybe you have good answers for me. So here's what I want to know. And I want to open it up to the floor, and not everybody rush me at once, but I want to know, why is a mastermind important in today's time? Why this group, or just one of those questions? If you've gone through our course, why is a mastermind, and how has it aided you individually to go through this course or to be in that mastermind setting? Who is a brave soul that will go first? Joshua? Awesome. Thank you, sir. Who are you? Where are you calling from? And why is a mastermind important to you, sir?
Hopefully my voice sounds better now. All right. So I'm Joshua. I'm from West Palm. Yeah, I think masterminds are important. I've been in multiple different kinds. And when you have that, like you were saying, that safe space to be able to be authentic and share what you really feel instead of like censoring it behind scared of judgment or judging other, like just getting rid of all the stuff out of your way and just being able to learn. And then, I mean, like, the other thing is in a mastermind, if for me, I look at your energy and how you present and how you're talking, and you seem excited, you have like a lot of aliveness to it. So I want to be around those kind of people. I've been around other people in my life where they're just like, I can't believe it's Corona and I'm going to stay at home, I'm going to sleep and do that. And of course I limit that, but sometimes it's your loved ones and your friends, so you can't really get rid of all of it. But to have a space that I know that I can come and be like, I'm gonna bring all what I'm building, somebody else is gonna bring what they're building, and we're just gonna like be lit on like building awesome life. So those are the things that stand out for me in a mastermind.
Awesome, Joshua. Wonderful answer. You're going to get all that and more, bro. All that and more. Thank you. And you brought up some things I want to talk about. But before I do that, I want to hear from somebody else. Great. Thank you for sharing your brilliance with us. Who's next? Why a mastermind? Why in today's time? Why is it important right now? If you're on Facebook, maybe write comments. Who's next? Janine, one finger, two finger. Go for it, girl.
Oh, I'll go.
Who are you? Where are you calling from?
Janine Lowith, co-founder on the Mastermind team. I am in northern New Jersey. The sun's going down. Okay, so for me, actually, Joshua started touching right upon it. I grew up in a culture of negativity. I'll blame it on the Italian side, but it's the worst case scenario. Everything possible that can go wrong is constantly what I grew up hearing. If it's not this, this will get you, that'll get you, this is bad, this is wrong, and all of that just wasn't the energy that I wanted to grow up in. I remember feeling that energy in my world, childhood to now. Well, it actually shifted a couple years ago when I was introduced to this course and what it would mean and the choices that I would get. And then I started seeing how I was programmed, right? Like, what were the thoughts, the phrases, the experiences, the feelings that were seeded in me that had me thinking that way about money? One of which was, just work harder, just work hard, the money will come, just work hard. And I'm like, okay, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs, 6 jobs, I'm working as hard as I can. Why is it not showing up? And I got, one of the many things that I got was it was my money conversation. You know, that thought did not support my growth and creating the success that I had wanted to in my life. And once I got clear and noticed it and started new practices and new habits, then it was like a completely different path. And all of this stuff started to flow and money started to flow, but with ease. It wasn't hard. Okay, more to come. So I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Janine, for your brilliance. And Janine Lowith is one of our founding members, and she is a brilliant mind, a leader, an entrepreneur. She is an author, and I don't know how to say it, girl. She's the backbone. You're the backbone of all this thing. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for adding your brilliance. We're going to go to Chief Louis. I see your hands up. Why is a mastermind important? Why in today's date, today's time? Floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, okay. Can anybody hear me? Hopefully, yes, you can. All right, awesome. So this is why it is important to me to be a mastermind. As you can see, I'm not at home. I'm actually in Arizona. In a season in which all photographers right now have no work, no events to shoot, I'm actually being flown across the country to go work, to go do commercial work for high-end apartment communities. And this was created because it's a mastermind. And the mastermind had the idea, man, I want to propose this to this company, see if they like, want to receive it and tell me yes. And guess what? They did. And now here I am. I've been traveling like crazy. That's what probably you haven't seen me in some of the calls because I've been moving. So the mastermind has aided me tremendously in allowing my imagination, which our imagination is in my opinion, is holy, is divine. So it's given my imagination like a fertile soil for it to bloom and to grow and to believe that, hey, there's so many things out there that we can achieve, but we need I realized I needed a team of people that I could talk to, that I could bounce ideas out of, and to keep me away from all the negativity and all the lack of abundance that is being like inflicted upon us. So to me, it has been like a blessing. Like, to me, the mastermind is home. Literally home. Been doing this, even though when we do these calls, I feel like we're in service. Trust me, you are serving me as much as you believe we're serving you. So to me, it has been tremendous to be part of this mastermind. It's kept me focused. It gave me a space for me to talk when I'm down, to be lifted up, to hear other people's challenges, and then like be able to give and be in service. It is amazing. I realized that here I can come and have a meeting about me, and then have an opportunity to pour into somebody else. Like, the game changes. The game completely changes in life when you consistently meet to pour on somebody. Like, to pour on somebody and just give and just talk and hear them share their struggles, their challenges, and then you're in a position to give. It doesn't matter what you have going on in that day, you give into somebody, and it feels amazing to be able to share an idea, share a positive thought. So I can talk about this all day, but I know there's other people that have their hands raised. I just want to say that to me, it has been like a blessing. I'm in it to win it. I'm in all day of my life. So thank you so much. God bless, and I'll be here listening to everybody's feedback. Peace.
Awesome. Thank you for your brilliance, Louis. And if you don't know, Chief Louie is also a founding member of the Mastermind Life. He is an entrepreneur, he is an author, a photographer, and a CEO of a company. And he's a rock star, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being the light in my life. I appreciate you. I see that Rebecca's got her hand up. Rebecca, floor is yours. Why is the Mastermind? Why now? Why Mastermind? I don't know. Go for it.
So for me, my name is Rebecca, and I recently just moved to Wisconsin. I had done some self-development courses that had started to open up my eyes and create some awareness. And Miss Melissa had been talking to me numerous times, many text messages. Please join, do Mastermind with us. Come on. You know what? Don't wait. Just do it. You have an inclination in your stomach to do it. Just go with your gut. I'm a mother of 4 kids. I have a 29-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a soon-to-be 12-year-old. They're all 4 boys. And my whole entire life, I've been a mom since 15. And for me, I have taken care of everybody else, and it's my time to finally start figuring out who I am, other than being a parent, and really wanting to do what I want to do, not just do something because I have to support my kids or whatever, but really fulfill my dreams. And one thing I want to share with you today, and I did share with Willie a little bit tonight, was I've never had a voice. I've never spoke up for myself. I've been kind of a really meek, mild person. And I kind of made some conversations today at work that I'm really proud of. And I really didn't care what was thought of me by saying it, even though they probably didn't like what I had to say, but I stuck up for myself. And it really felt good. And I walked away going, man, I just did that. Like, why has that been such a problem for me my whole entire life? To just create boundaries. I've never had them. And my life is just opening up and blooming. Just so you all know, get ready for part 2. Because after our very last call, another thing came to me, not only my one chief of aim, I'm going to write a book. The title of the book is There Is Hope, Changing Generations. My children have only known what I've taught them, regardless of it being right or wrong. I didn't know it. If you're not aware, you can't change that next generation. So I'm excited, and I hope any of you will join us, and hopefully all of you. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Rebecca, for your brilliance. Rebecca joined us last round that we closed the doors. This was about 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And I believe she's continuing her journey with us. And smart girl. And this is what it's about right there. It's about showing up to work and claiming your worth and not being talked down to and saying, I'm worth it. I know I'm worth it. And I know I got a team behind me that believes the same thing. And it changes when you have a team behind you. When you have an army of people that believe in you, all of a sudden your wings want to come out. All of a sudden your gifts want to come out. You're not alone in this really scary world. And if you listen to the news or the media, they want you to be small. They don't want you to shine. Okay, we're going to get to that. I don't want to go on a tangent. Thank you for sharing your brilliance. Rebecca, who gets to go next? Why a mastermind? Why now? Anybody else? I can talk for days. Here's your chance. William, who are you? Where are you calling from? Why mastermind?
Okay, I'm Willie from Miami. I'm one of the founders. I'm a very emotional person. I live my life through my emotions. If I don't feel it, I don't do it. But before this mastermind, and my emotional were just like all over the place, whatever. And this group made me focus, made my emotion go through to my goals, what I want in my life. And after 2 years, I can look back and see the changes. It's a place, it's a safe space where I can come and really expose myself and be naked. And they support me, they take me to a new level. They give me advices, they follow through, they support me. And that's what I'm here. I want you guys to feel the same way, because when you go out there and you talk, oh my God, I want to build this empire, people will talk, oh, come on, dude, somebody did it already and they're in bankruptcy already. So you don't need that kind of feedback when you have a goal or a dream. You need somebody to say, okay, how do you want? How can I help you? Okay, what is the resources that you need? We have it here with you. Come on, let's build it together. Oh, you know, so this is what we find here. And that's what I find. That's what I stay in. And I love you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for your brilliance, Willie M. Willie M is a founding member of the Mastermind Life. I love this man because of how he wears his heart on his shoulder and on his sleeve. And he is a fashion designer, a professor, and about to be an author. So thank you for adding value and being in service, and thank you for sharing your brilliance with us. Anybody else before I start talking again? Why a mastermind? Why now? Why is it important? I'm just curious. I don't know. I know why it's important to me. Curious why it's important to you. Anybody else? Here we go. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. Oh, Louis wants to talk again. Louis, floor is yours. Go for it.
Listen, I'm just like a Latin. If you don't talk, I can talk all day, because this mastermind has been of that much value in my life. So the other reason the mastermind is important to me, especially now, is because there is nothing like dreaming with a group of people. Like dreaming alone, it is no fun. It is no fun. So whenever I've had an inclination to do something, I am always confident that when I bring it up to my mastermind, it's going to be received with open arms, and it's going to be actually fed, not be extinguished. It's not going to be like all the Debbie Downers of why is this a bad idea? I will be supported and given an opportunity to see what do I need to do to make this happen. And I'm sure you probably heard the saying, if not, I'll say it now, is if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go long and far, you go with a team. And that's what the mastermind has provided to me. It is a team that's with me, like for the long haul, Like my book was created in the mastermind. And the idea of translating to other languages, which is already translated in Spanish, was created in the mastermind. I had no idea that I wanted to write a book. No idea. My goals were just like retire from the military, do pictures, and I don't know, and trying to have fun, be a good dad, good husband, good friend, and all that. Zero idea that I wanted to write a book. Zero. And that was created by the mastermind. And there's more coming. I had no idea. So I'm always open. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Louis, for your brilliance. Okay. Janine, I see your hand up, love. Go for it. Floor is yours.
Thank you. I had one thought at the moment I wanted to share, which was, I have a creative mind. And there was a time that it kind of flatlined, and I didn't get why it flatlined. This course and this communication with others and getting their feedback helped me realize what that was. And once I got beyond that and noticed it, suddenly my creativity came back. On the note of creativity, one of the challenges I've always faced is I only have my own frame of reference, right? It's what I know, it's my thoughts, it's what I've experienced. And so when I have these ideas, I tend to ping pong ball them back and forth in my own head. And sometimes, more often than not, they get trapped within me. When I was able to bring them forward and share them with others, it was incredible to me, the mind power that showed up across everybody else. Because now I multiplied what I had first started as a seed, grew across a range of people, and everybody started, they get inspired and excited, and what do they think about it, and what ideas do they have, and it just kind of grows and expands into all types of things. all types of things, because we go further as a group. So thank you. I'm complete.
Thank you, Janine Lowe, for your brilliance. Okay, so here's what I want to share with you, okay? So we don't have time on the introduction call to like tell you like why you want to be in this particular group. But what I can tell you is a little bit about me, and I could tell you a little bit about why this whole thing works. Okay. So personally, I came over here when I was a little puppy, okay? And with my parents, we came over, and we grew up as a poor family, okay? Fast forward, at like 15, I started working. At like 17, 18, I was taking care of my younger brother. And then between the age of 17, 18, I didn't really like school very much. Not that the school system's bad or anything, but I didn't like school very much, so my older brother kind of pushed me into personal development. And that was like my first taste around like 17, 18. And then over the last 20 years, I've done like 17, 18 years of personal development, 10 years really heavy with Tony Robbins. And I loved it. I don't know if you've ever been to like a seminar or a workshop. It's like a shot in the arm, and you like come out of the weekend and you're like, I'm gonna walk through walls, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. And then 2 months later, you're like, what's on Netflix? And so here's the problem with that kind of environment. So Sarah Bradley shared formula number one, and formula number one, in it, it says that I will demand of myself consistent and persistent action towards my dream. Because here's what I'll share with you. That's the real key, is how do we get it to be persistent? How do we get it to be consistent? Because if you go to a seminar every 3 months, every 4 months, every 6 months, and that's like wishful thinking, especially now with COVID, you can't go to seminars. You can do the virtual stuff, but it's different. The sizzle kind of goes away. I don't know if you've experienced that. For me, that's part of the deal. So let me tell you what I experienced. Every time I show up on a Wednesday call, every single time, my battery gets charged and revved up. Now, I kind of fill up by being in service and offering my gifts and talents and learning from each other and all that kind of stuff. And I come at my week very different on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. On Monday, someone posted something on Facebook. Why did you post that on Facebook? Now I got my mind messed up. And then on Tuesday, I'm kind of like thinking about it. My relatives said something to me. I told them I wanted to build a waterfall. They're like, you're not a contractor. You can't build a waterfall and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, ah. And then I show up on Wednesday, battery full, positivity, learning from each other. And here's what I'll share with you. A few people said something about family and negative influences in the outside world and Facebook and the media. I don't know if you've noticed, all of it is bad. All of it is negative. You will not find something to empower you on media. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to drive fear so that we are paralyzed. Not you and me. No, sir. We show up, charge our batteries, and go at our week of different. And there's a huge difference at consistently checking in with your team around you, around your growth before all this COVID stuff, okay? By the way, when I started at 18 to go to personal development, this might be important to you. And I don't share this to impress you, but to impress upon you the people that you will be surrounded with. And I can only speak from my experience. You'll get to learn the other members there. So at 18, I started in the car business with my older brother, went to personal development. By the time I was 23, and I like looked back and dissected all this, I dedicated to the team that we had at that time. We started with a team of 5 people. We bought a broken Hyundai dealership in the ghetto. It was really bad with 5 people, okay? And by the time I was 23, we had 750 employees, 2 jets, 2 yachts, 23 Lamborghinis as exotic toys that we would play with. Our company was valued at over $70 million. Now, granted, 2008 came and it humbled the hell out of me. It took all of it away. It's like, you're way too young and too dumb to have this kind of money. and took it all away, took it all away, took it all away. And it was back to recreation. It was back to recreation. And of course, I was a little butthurt. Excuse me, I said that out loud on Facebook Live. Excuse me. I was a little upset at the government, at the economy, and all this kind of stuff. So I moved away. I went and lived like a poor man on a beach in Dominican Republic off of coconuts for about 9 months. Okay, coconuts and fruits, really cheap over there. And I was making about $1,000, $1,500 a month, but I was living fine. I was happy. And then somewhere along the line, I was like, I have to create. I got too many gifts not to give it back to my brothers and sisters. Came back, did it all again, started working, making money, doing all that kind of stuff. But let me tell you what I've learned. What I've learned is if you don't have a consistent place that you check into when it's around what you're doing, your growth and accountability, you kind of stray. And it's like you have a boat and you're going out into the ocean thinking you're going to go straight, but the ocean kind of takes you, it drifts you way, way far away. Showing up on Wednesday night, you redock, you find out what your purpose is again, where you're going again, and if you're out of alignment, it's a course correction to bring you back to where you're going, back to where you're going, back to where you're going, so that you can stay consistent around what you want to do and what you want to create and what you want to have and who you want to be. And let me tell you something. I love my family, but I choose my mastermind. I don't make my family the team that I go to and say what I want to create. I have a best friend, maybe he's watching this live. A couple of years ago, I was like, bro, I'm going to make it and I'm going to make it big. And when I do, I'm going to buy you a convertible Lamborghini because I love you that much. Now think about this. I just told this man I'm going to buy him a Lamborghini. And then for the next 3 years, he teased me about where's his Lamborghini and you're never going to do it and blah, 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 blah. I was like, you know what? I'm still going to buy it for you because I love you, but I'm never telling you any of my goals again. Never, ever, ever. Because every time he brought it up, it's like a punch in the mouth. You haven't done it yet. You're not enough. You're not good enough. What's taking so long? And that's what society feeds us. Instead of telling us, hey, it's okay if you fall off track, just get on track. Just keep going. So who you let in is really important. Part of what you're going to learn in this mastermind is how do you guard this thing? How do you guard in between your ears so you don't get the bad stuff from the outside world to influence your thoughts and actions? We all believe thoughts become things, right? So what we think is really important. And do we have, is Facebook where we go to get ideas, or is our mastermind where we go to get our ideas? Now, Janine mentioned earlier in her share, thank you for your time. We're going to wrap it up in about 6 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? Janine mentioned in her share that when she brought up an idea, other people's ideas is what gave her the spark. And that's what happens in this mastermind. That's why we encourage you to speak up, because Joshua, you will say something that has nothing to do with your business, but it's exactly what Rebecca needed to like ignite that fire and move forward. We communicate that way because our brains become connected. And here's what I'll share with you. Everybody is raised in their vibration of thinking and the way they show up in their lives when you have this kind of a setting. Another thing I want to share with you is someone mentioned earlier about focus. Someone mentioned about being focused or staying focused, all that stuff. Here's what I'll share with you. If you get a stream of water and you just let it go in any direction, it is worthless. It does nothing. However, if you can channel that water, to point in one direction at a channel or at a direct focus, it will destroy boulders. It will create new paths. It will create rivers and oceans. If you can figure out a way to channel that energy in one direction. Now, what direction? I hope you take your mastermind into consult to say what direction. How do I channel my energy? How do I push it in that direction? Because that's really important. Otherwise, it's everywhere. It's just scattered, and there's no power in that. I have another question for you. Before COVID-19, I was a busybody. I wore a suit, and I was like Pete Kehoe on this call. He's a very successful man as well. I was flying 4 days a week, to a new city and doing meetings of 500 to 3,000 people and speaking. Can I tell you something? That's a lot of meetings, 4 or 5 days a week, okay? 4 or 5 days a week is a lot of meetings, adds up. None of them were about me. Not once did someone say, what are your goals, your dreams, where are you going? None of those meetings. When was the last time you showed up to a meeting that was about your growth, about where you're going, about your desires, what's holding you back, and what you need to do to create that in your own life? Here's your opportunity. I also believe that you, Sarah, are a powerful creator. I believe Molly creates her environment and her world by her thoughts. I believe that I author, just like you author, these people, this environment, and this setting. So here's what I want to share with you. You authored this in somewhere in your psyche. Somewhere in your psyche, you prayed to have a group, or you prayed for answers, or you prayed for help, or you prayed for vision, or you prayed for something in your thoughts, words, or in your dreams. Here it is. It showed up in your Zoom or Facebook Live. The question is do you act? Now, here's how you act. First, you say, I'm in. Because let me tell you, our course is a 10-week course. 10-week course. We start on August 12th. It ends somewhere after 10 weeks. Whatever that math is. I don't know what the math is, excuse me. So it starts August 12th. Once it starts, the doors close and we don't let anybody else in because it's closed. Don't let that ship sail without you. The cost of your engagement. Now, I originally, when we built this with the founders, you guys remember, I wanted to charge like $5,000 a head for this mastermind. It's worth it. I promise you're going to get that much value. $5,000 a head for 10 weeks. Okay. And they were like, no, we want to make it for the masses. We want it for all of our people, all this kind of good stuff. I was like, fine, you guys win. What do we do? So we came up with a price. The price is a whopping $199 to make it affordable for you. It breaks down to be $25 or $30 a meeting that you're paying to learn from some successful people, some millionaires, and some people that are going places in life, not Facebook. So here's how you register. You go to the website. It is www.themastermindlife.com. You'll pick part 1. We have 3 parts. Don't worry about the other parts. Just do part 1 if you haven't done it before. That's all you're committing to. It's 10 weeks. You're committing to showing up and reading the book and doing the book and showing up for 1 call a week. Don't spend that time on Netflix. Give yourself, your abilities and your gifts that 1 hour and 15 minutes to show up and have that accountability from these people. I invite you, I urge you, I beg you, do it for you, do it for your children, and do it for our society. Do you know that in this book you're going to learn that the Great Depression started because widespread fear was spread between the public? Does that sound like a time you're experiencing right now with COVID? Everybody is scared. People are scared. The world are waiting for the leaders and the movers and the shakers like you, Joshua, to show up and claim your worth and take your prize. Your time is limited on this planet. I urge you to decide to join us. I hope you enjoyed this call. My name is Aladdin Kazravan. I'm one of the founders, and I hope to see you on the Mastermind Life on August 19. Now, I will be showing up here on Wednesday night for the next three more Wednesday nights, showing up here to do similar stuff that we did here. I wanted to open it up just for any ahas or any quick shares before we call it a night and dismiss everybody. Anybody, anything on your heart, here's your chance to share. Melissa Kehoe, floor is yours. Thank you, Goddess.
Thank you. And thank you for the reminders tonight. And thank you for the shares for those who have been through part 1 and are headed on through part 2. I really appreciate it. It is a true honor to be here in this space with you. Having done this the last 2 years, and this is officially our 8th read through as the Mastermind Life, but our 10th or 11th read through. I have the privilege of knowing a lot of these people. Some I've never met other than here, and some I've met in person, and you've never been to a formal affair and danced with Willie. You're missing out. You gotta show up when they call and send the invite. But I want to thank Aladdin Kazran for your dream and your vision. The very first time I met you was during an exercise at a meeting, and his family has a foundation called Orphans Worldwide, and his goal right then, he shared, was to feed 1 million orphans around the country. And they go into Dominica as of late to orphanages and set them up for success and sustainability, make ice cream for the kids, which is hard to do in a lot of these places because ice is a commodity that can't always be found, and does team building for these kids. So it's not really about the money, even though the title of the book is Think and Grow Rich. It's about what the money can do in our lives. And having known him and met some of his family and known his story, he has felt money in his youth, but he now understands money and what it can do. And our goals are laser, and the accountability grows each session that we go through. And yeah, people write books and do some amazing stuff and are absolutely brilliant. And like Sherry Zucker, it's so good to see you here. I mean, it was just an honor to be with you in part one. And I'm looking forward to this next session. It's going to be amazing. But Aladdin always brings the fire. He just always brings it. And it is true. You are charged on Wednesday night. One more thing I wanted to add is it took me 2 years to get my beloved to commit to doing this. And it took COVID because like Aladdin, he traveled 220 days a year for the last 40 plus years. And we've spent more time together than we've ever spent in our entire 40 plus years together. And to do this as a couple has been an amazing ride the last 10-week course. So much so, you know, I want to write a book called Think and Grow Rich for couples. So if you have somebody that you want on your team, and I wanted him on my team in my real life, and this is my team here. I come home every Wednesday to recharge, but I also have a team that are helping accomplish the goals. And Pete Kehoe is an amazing and astounding human being, one of the most brilliant men I've ever met in my life. And to have him now in this vein, moving forward together is so powerful. So if you have somebody that you want on your team with you, don't do this alone. Bring somebody along and have them join you. It's a great conversation after the calls, and even more accountability after the calls when you have a buddy, you know, that you're doing this with. And thank you, Aladdin. I know I speak for the team when I thank you. Excited for the next session. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Miss Melissa Kehoe, for your brilliance. Melissa Kehoe is a founding member of the Mastermind Life. She is a entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a mother, a guide, a counselor, an angel, and a philanthropist. Thank you so much for your brilliance and everything that you do. She mentioned couples. If you're a couple, we do offer a $50 per person discount to do the thing together, okay? So that really helps. You want to be able to speak the same language because a lot's going to change with your thoughts, your words, and the way you want to show up, and you will be very grateful you did it together. Listen, one last thing I want to share with you. Anybody else? I forgot. Anybody else? Anything on your heart? Here's your chance to share. Yeah, Joshua, I like this guy. Go for it. What's up, bro?
I just want to say I could definitely feel your fire, and I can feel the fire of everybody else, and that's definitely what I'm about. So I love it. And then I wrote down just a couple things, and then I'll just read them off. So, does my money conversation support my growth? My imagination is holy and divine. What do I want for myself outside of being my parents? Where did I get desire? Where did I get my desire to have children? Was it from my parents? And there's nothing like dreaming with other people, and I'm in because I'll definitely be there. So
smart man, Joshua, we're excited to have you. Anybody else in? Anybody else ready to jump and do this for themselves? And anything alive in you that you need to speak? Louis, floor is yours, sir.
All right. So when you mentioned aha moments, right, from this conversation, when you shared about, when was the last time we had a meeting about you, reminded me of, I served 20 years in the military and I retired as a chief in the Coast Guard. And we met every day. And guess what? We saved lives successfully. We did not fail. There's something to meeting with people consistently with a purpose, like a direct purpose, very specific. And that's what happens here. Like you have a goal in mind, you meet consistently, and it will get done. It will get done. So thank you for bringing that up. It reminded me of those days of a meeting, because even though sometimes the meetings were like, oh my God, but you know, we talked about it, we breathed, debriefed, you know, and all that. So that's what's gonna happen here. You know, when you join and you sit with us during the meetings and we talk, some days you're gonna be like, okay, I gotta do this, but you will see the fruit at the end. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Chief Louis. Anybody else before we wrap up our call?
Last thing.
Go ahead.
One last thing. Thank you, Jason Dunkley, for bringing me to this mastermind. I love you, brother.
And you know, that's really, yeah. By the way, Jason's a rock star. It's his third time through, and he's on his way doing big stuff. I'm really honored and honored to have your brilliance with us, Jason. By the way, that's how we change the planet. That's how we change all the outside right now, is one person helps another person, helps another person, helps another person. I will share with you anything that you need in life is right here. All the resources you need, everyone you need to meet, everything you could possibly need to create any dream is within the Rolodexes of the people that you're staring at right now. We don't need 100 people. We don't need an army. Within 20 people, the Rolodexes can multiply for anything that you need, anyone you need to meet, all that stuff. By the way, I forgot to mention, in the course, you'll identify what your definite chief aim in life is. What is your purpose in life? The book will turn into a map for you, and then the team will become your Rolodex, your cheerleaders, and your fertile soil for your dream to flourish so that you can have it. I hope you enjoyed your call. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for co-creating the space. Miss Sherry, you're amazing. Miss Molly, you're amazing. It's great to see you. Sarah, wonderful to see you. Jason, Rebecca, Miss Melissa, Willie, Joseph, Jason, Louie, Janine, David, Ingrid, Anthony, William, Mr. Pete Kehoe, thank you for your brilliance. And you guys have a beautiful night. I hope to see you on next Wednesday or on August 12th on closing date. Hey, seats will fill up. Seats will fill up. Go register if you're a yes. Okay, don't wait till last minute. Procrastination is not your friend.
The whole chapter on that.
And recruit your team. Recruit your team that you want to have in here. Recruit your team.
There you go. We'll see you on the next call, next Wednesday. Have a beautiful evening.
Take care, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Love
Good night.
y'all.
Thanks for joining.